Hello Aries, happy December. This is your forecast to see just what is hitting home this month. And you have a smack full ninth house, which has to do with higher education this month, or just reaching for that higher consciousness. You might find yourself researching perhaps a whole lot more, digging in, preparing yourself too. And let me tell you why though, because we got shifts coming up for you big time, Aries. I think a lot of you have been preparing and been waiting for perhaps a promotion at work, right? Really climbing to the top of that ladder. Well, this month, as Saturn moves into your 10th house, that is for career, and that's where your focus is going to be for the next 2 to 2.5 years. Now, that will be on December 19th. You will notice that shift. A lot of you have already been feeling it or putting out proposals, applications and whatnot for a new career. Somewhere you are waiting for end-year review and so forth. So, you know, you've been working for this for a full 28, 29 years. That's the cycle of Saturn, right? So the completion has been going on this whole last 2 years actually. And the research, the looking into, the preparation that you put forward now is what is definitely going to bloom as you rise to the top of your chart. Saturn will give you a whole lot more responsibilities, and we've been talking about this long time now about when this shift is going to come. So Saturn in Capricorn, it rules Capricorn, so it's kind of like a double whammy, right? And I see leadership energy for many of you. Hopefully that will be you too, taking on not just the responsibility, but to actually lead the crowd. You have, over time, really developed and honed in your skills, your expertise, and so forth. Saturn right now, this month too, will be conjuncted by the new moon. How fortunate is that? Though the new moon is on the 18th, and this is the day before Saturn hits your 10th house, but it is conjuncting that cusp, right? So the new moon is when we place our intentions. So for you especially, Aries, is to think about your career. That is where you want your intentions to go. Anybody starting anything new right now, it is fantastic. And even if you don't start on the 19th, by all means, right? This new moon will follow you for a month. So you have that whole month where that new moon is going to be influencing this area until that of next year. But it will trickle through in the oncoming months too, just on various different levels. That new moon will also be conjunct Mercury, so anything that has to do with communications and agreements and so forth is totally good. However, though, we have Mercury retrograde from the 3rd of December to the 22nd. So when that new moon Saturn conjunct hits on the 18th, Mercury is still retrograde for a couple of days. But it's okay to discuss, negotiate. If you're smart, you will just say, give me a couple of days to get back to you, you know, and then try to come forward. But as long as it has been in the works before the retrograde started, you should be good. So any decisions made before December 3rd is always still going to be acceptable under this retrograde. We have Venus finalizing its last degree in Scorpio here as we start off the month, coming into that 0 degrees of your 9th house. So this will be joining your party as well, and Venus is all about love and the desires and the things that you truly appreciate, right? So all that heart energy is going into this area of the 9th house of preparation and research, should I say. Travel too. 9th house is travel. Oftentimes, most likely, long distance travel, so you might be planning to go away for the holidays or receive visitors from afar. That can very much so be it too. And Venus is moving pretty quickly this month. It enters into your 9th house December 1st, and it will leave there on the 25th. So we only have a few weeks in this area, but then Venus will also move into your career house alongside with Saturn, right? So that's really gelling things together. It coming into a conjunction there on the 25th. That is Christmas Day, right? So what a present to receive. Something that you love, desire, that's now bringing in new karma, new paths, new responsibilities. So there's a little bit of everything to celebrate here these holidays for you. Mars is in Libra, so Mars is our direction and our goals, the energy that we use. It's been balancing the scales. Do I want to do this? Do I want to do that? How much is too little? How much is too much? This is in the area of your relationships, right? So you might have found yourself here in November working on that balancing act with your partner or partners. If you work very closely one-on-one with anybody, they're considered a partner in this 7th house area. Mars wants to be fair about things, so I feel that you might have stood up for a few things just to get all your ducks in a row and have the account settled, so to speak, in your interaction with those people that you do communicate with their daily. Mars will be here until December 9th. Then it will be moving into the area of shared resources. So money, not necessarily your income checks and so forth, but Mars will be looking at where the money is going. How is it doing? Is it growing? Your investments and so forth. Are you getting your check now, your bonus check for the year? Some of you do get that through where you work, and others there might be commissions and royalties, that kind of end year payout. So yeah, Mars will be looking into these matters, and you know, I would say pay attention for as long as Mars is here, because it's the opportunity to look over your papers and see if they're still the way that you like them, right? It's going to be 2 years before Mars is going to give you that extra push to get these things straightened out. Loving this, Mars, I feel too, will definitely be in a place of energy to look at the more intimate areas of your life. It's in the 8th house, which is ruled by Scorpio, and Mars was the ancient ruler of Scorpio, so it's pretty powerful. It's comfortable here. There's drive, there's desire, there's passion, there's intensity, wanting to go deep, cut into the core of how you relate and how you share with your partner. You might find that your partner too might be or become a little bit more intense this month, and I think that's all good by you, right? So listen, we got a lot of things to talk about. Jupiter, see, is trine Neptune on December 2nd. Jupiter expands, and it is abundant, it is joyful, and when well aspected, it will expand anything it touches. Now Jupiter is in your 8th house, right? It has just moved in there in October and will be here for the coming year. So that is your bank accounts might swell up. Maybe there is more money you could put away or put into investments. Jupiter is really going to give you a gift here, and I feel that on the 2nd, when it's trining up with Neptune, Neptune is in your 12th house, so that's something you've been thinking about, meditating on. It's your inner self, your higher consciousness, your spiritual expansion here with Jupiter is a vision. Pay attention to the visions that you receive. Doesn't mean you have to act on them right away. Sometimes we can receive a vision and go, wow, that's what I want to do. And then 6 months later, you start putting it into action, or maybe even a year later. But as long as the vision is there, it's attaching itself to your consciousness. This is what that is all about, and this is what makes it really interesting. A little bit miscommunication could take place on the 2nd. So if there's anything you're doubting, or whether you're even doubting yourself, whether you heard right, don't be afraid to ask questions. This is a day you want to do it so nothing kind of lays there, you know, and festers, right? That's just Neptune square to the Sun. On the 6th, we have agreements coming into the picture. Mercury and Saturn, they are conjunct. Mercury has gone retrograde, so we want to be a little cautious, not afraid. Don't ever be afraid of retrogrades. Retrogrades are our friends, believe it or not. if there is a delay, if we have to postpone things or things become postponed on us and we got to take a rain check, listen, it's always working out for the higher good for everybody involved. Sometimes we don't see that before the aftermath. So here is some agreement, some negotiation. If you have to sign on things, well, you know, sometimes the show must go on. Sometimes we can't avoid it. Now, once again, if whatever is being negotiated right now started prior to the retrograde, you should be okay, because then you're just following through on it. But what we really look out for is to not really start anything new or negotiate any new deals or put the house on the market after retrograde has started. See, that's the only thing. So we have that, but this is very intense because it is in your ninth house. And of course the sun is there, Venus has gone in there, the new moon will be there. So all of this is you setting up your stage of where you're wanting to go long term. All right, that's what the ninth house is about, that vision on the other side of the horizon, right, where you're heading. So when all of these planets move out of this area and come into your 10th house, which isn't just career, we call it the career house, but it's actually the area of your goals, right? What you're trying to achieve and attain in life. All these planets will be moving in there. So January, you're going to start off 2018. Really exciting. So more on that next month, you know, so be sure to subscribe so you get what is coming up for you in 2018. We have, on the 6th, Mercury and Mars, they're sextile. This is the same day that Mercury is discussing and having talks, important talks with Saturn, right? So you're really looking for a long-term solution here. Saturn's always a long-term situation. Mercury's really taking a good handle on Mars, which is your drive, your ultimate goal, what you're wanting to achieve in this negotiation. So I feel you're going to be very clear. So whoever you're negotiating with, they're getting your full picture. On the 10th, there is some good feedback coming to you. And this is from Uranus. This could be a text, it could be a phone call, it could be an email, or it could even be in person. Now, not only is feedback coming to you of what you have been working with, but I feel there's a little surprise attached to it, which could really open up some new doors and new possibilities for you. On the 10th also though, there might be a little bit of a hiccup. Venus and Neptune are square. That's love and romance, and Neptune is also very romantic. It could also be art related, could also be money related. That's what both Venus and Neptune represent. So if you're not feeling too good about a certain thing, just hang in there. You know, don't act. Sometimes waiting is a direct action that we choose. And of course now we are in the season of holiday gifting. Maybe you're looking at wanting to buy something and either the price isn't right or it might be a little funky. Remember, Mercury is retrograde, so it's I'd say go get all your Christmas shopping done prior to December 3rd. Do it in November. That is all ready and done. You won't be hectic up towards the holidays. But this could be a day that you might purchase something that isn't really what you thought it was in the aftermath, all right? Just one of those things. On the 12th, though, through the 15th, this is a period which is flowing really, really nice. I feel your communication with those around you, family members, friends and whatnot, co-workers, it's good. If you're entertaining any parties or office parties, this is a great time. I really feel, Aries, that you are radiant and really taking it all the way home. There's a sense of just joy and you expressing yourself in such a happy-go-lucky way, which is very, very attractive. And you might get a lot of remarks to it that your energy is really sparkling at this time. On the 16th, we have another day. In fact, I would say between the 16th and the 20th, all those 4 days, it's like boom, 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 surprises. First, it's Uranus that is trining up with the sun, or say the sun is trining up with Uranus. That's a golden aspect, okay? The sun being you and Uranus is we never know what we get, right? It's like a box of chocolate, but this is good when it's a positive aspect. So the surprise could be coming to you, or maybe you are going to tell somebody something that would surprise them. Sometimes Uranus even likes to shock, right? But it's good shock factor, not a negative one. And going straight from 16th into the 20th, Venus is coming around and will trine up to Uranus too, also with a golden beam. So this could be money, it could be love related, it could be anything of the arts that you are expressing, bringing out. It's just like everything is opening up. All the doors and windows are open for you, and opportunities too may come to you from this, as the Sun now is coming into a conjunction with Saturn on the 21st. And recall, the new moon has already been there now, right? On the 18th, really kind of warming up that Saturn. Now the Sun is there to Saturn. So what did it do there on the 18th? In these beautiful days between the 16th and 20th, well, you know, you shall see. The 21st, I feel there's an initiation of, or a confirmation of something. And of course now Mercury is just about to go direct on the 22nd. So news might be coming on the 21st. And if you just hang in there to the 22nd or the 23rd, just like move beyond that last degree of retrograde, then whatever new it is you're starting, it's not going to be conflicting in the future with retrograde energy, right? You know what I'm talking about. Then on the 25th, it is Christmas Day for you Americans. The Europeans celebrate Christmas Eve on the 24th. But listen, with Venus and Saturn, can't go wrong. They're conjunct. They're doing the dance. You're feeling so good, happy, solid, in the just the framework of your family and the children, the grandchildren, and so forth. It is going to be a lovely holiday. The foods will be good. Everything Venetian is really set. It's like setting the stage. Saturn does things, likes to perfect things, right? So it is a time that you can definitely now just allow your spirits to rise and bloom, and this will be following you for the next following days. It's not just Christmas Day. We got Mars and Neptune beautifully, golden triangle. Mars is your drive, your energy, how you're sharing, how you're receiving. Neptune being that higher spiritual consciousness, so it's a spiritual Christmas. And it's also dreams, you know, what you've been dreaming about, longing for. Neptune longs, right? So what a beautiful December, and what a way to end the year of 2017. All of these good energies that you're having here towards the end of the month, it is carrying over into New Year's and that of 2018. This is going to be a year that's going to start you off in such a way, Aries, that I feel it's like flying a kite. All right. What we haven't talked about is the full moon, though. That is December 3rd, 11 degrees in Gemini. For you, that will show up in your third house for communication. So this is where you're going to be center stage, where the floodlight is all on you. Busy day for communication. You're probably going to be on the phone, texting a lot, maybe doing a lot of errands to and fro, running. But yeah, and siblings too come to mind when we talk about the third house, as also contracts, anything that has to do with papers, paperwork. The third though is also when Mercury goes retrograde. So we have a full moon Mercury retrograde in this area. So you'll just have to see how that works out for you. At least you are all prepared for it. And listen, I can't wait to look at your January forecast. So listen, have a wonderful holiday, Aries. See you soon. Bye now.